Chicks, gore, blood, guns. Dimly lit alleyways, exploding heads, ammunition cases clinking on the ground, feet tapping as they walk down an alleyway. These are the kind of cliches that I strive for in the Hair But the Hippo comic world. A good comic book should always excite, appall, and slightly horrify and fascinate you all at the same time. Comic books are the world of cliches and stereotypes. Stereotypes are the language and are the tools of the comic book artist and writer. Without stereotypes, we wouldn't have recognisable icons and visual cues that we would understand in order to help tell the story. A comic book artist who doesn't understand the rich history of stereotypes and corniness that do exist in comic books is doing themselves a huge disservice, and their readers. A comic book artist can't be worried about what critics are going to think, and a comic book artist should laugh in the face of critics that accuse them of being politically incorrect, because comic books by nature are an outsider art form that exists on the periphery of polite society, and that's how it should be. Comic books should never be respectable, just like rock and roll has become respectable and boring. Comic books should never suffer the same fate. Comic books should always be torn up by your parents, and your parents should always be horrified at what you're reading and what you have under your bed. Comics are there to remind us about the horrible things that we don't want to think about ourselves. The things that we don't want to tell people at dinner parties, and the things that we're embarrassed about. That's why comic books are fun. I don't ever want to see comic books become intellectual or respectable, and I don't ever want to see them being lauded by, art critics and establishment figures, because comic books to me is an anti-establishment art form and should always remain that way. Visual storytelling should be all about the familiar. A comic book page should invite you in to its world. The frame is your window that you should be able to feel like that you could step through and take a walk around with the characters. The characters should appear to be real to you, and you should feel like they know you, or that you know some part of them. A good comic book is a portable universe. Comic books are supposed to make you feel like you can escape. They're supposed to be a way out of ordinary life. And a comic book artist should always feel that he has that way out, and that it could always be his way of escaping his mundane existence.